It all began as a harmless dare, a moment no one in that glittering room thought would matter. The rooftop ballroom of the city's most luxurious hotel was alive with light and sound. Crystal chandeliers reflected off polished marble floors, champagne glasses clinked, and soft music floated through the air. She stood there with her friends, feeling slightly out of place in a borrowed dress, surrounded by people who seemed born into wealth and confidence. She was not from this world of power and privilege. She was ordinary, someone who worked hard, paid her bills, and dreamed quietly. Then her friend leaned in with a mischievous smile and whispered the challenge. "Kiss him." Right there. The man standing alone near the window, she followed her friend's gaze and felt her breath catch. The man wasn't just anyone. He was the billionaire CEO everyone in the city knew by name and reputation alone. A man whose business decisions made headlines, whose silence intimidated boardrooms, whose cold stare was rumored to break even the most confident rivals. People said he feared nothing and cared for no one. He stood apart from the crowd, tall, composed, untouchable. She laughed at first, certain it was a joke. But her friends kept pushing, teasing, daring her. The room seemed to shrink as adrenaline rushed through her veins. She told herself it was just a dare. A few seconds. A harmless act in a room that would forget it by morning. Before she could overthink it, she found herself walking toward him. Each step felt heavier than the last. Her heart pounded so loudly she was sure everyone could hear it. When she stopped in front of him, he slowly turned, clearly surprised that someone had approached without fear or hesitation. His eyes met hers, deep, sharp, unreadable. For a split second, time froze, then she leaned forward and kissed him. It was brief, light, barely more than a brush of lips. Gasps rippled through the room. Someone laughed nervously. She pulled back, a rush of embarrassment and victory flooding her at the same time. She had done it. She turned to leave. Before she could take even one step away, his hand gently but firmly wrapped around her wrist. The touch sent a shock through her entire body. The music kept playing, the party kept going, but for her, the world narrowed to the men behind her. "We're not done yet," he said quietly. His voice was calm, controlled, but there was something else beneath it, something intense, almost dangerous. She turned back, eyes wide, unsure whether to apologize, laugh it off, or run. He studied her face closely, as if seeing her for the first time. Not as a prank. Not as entertainment. As something unexpected. "You kissed me like you meant it," he said. "Most people can't even look me in the eye." Her throat felt dry. It was a dare, she admitted honestly. "I didn't mean to, I know," he interrupted. "That's why it surprised me." He released her wrist, but not his attention. Around them, curious glances and whispered speculation spread. He gestured toward the balcony doors. "Walk with me," he said. It wasn't a request, yet it wasn't a command either. Against her better judgment, she followed. Outside, the night air was cool, the city lights glowing beneath them like scattered stars. For a moment, neither of them spoke. "You're not afraid of me," he finally said. She shrugged. "I don't know you well enough to be." That answer made him smile, just slightly, but it changed his entire face. "My world is full of people who want something," he said. "Money. Power. Influence. You wanted nothing." "I just wanted to prove a point," she replied softly. "What point?" he asked. "That I'm not invisible." He looked at her then in a way no one ever had. Not like a billionaire. Not like a stranger. Like a man suddenly reminded of something human. Over the following days, he couldn't stop thinking about her. The kiss replayed in his mind, not because it was bold, but because it was real. For the first time in years, someone had crossed his carefully built walls without trying to. He found a way to see her again. Coffee turned into conversations. Conversations turned into long walks and late-night calls. She challenged him, teased him, spoke to him without fear or flattery. She didn't care about his fortune. She cared about his silences, his sarcasm, the loneliness he tried to hide. For her, he was nothing like the rumors. Yes, he was powerful and decisive, but he was also tired, guarded, and surprisingly gentle. He listened when she spoke. He remembered small things. He let her see pieces of his world no one else was allowed to touch. They both tried to deny what was growing between them. She told herself people like him didn't choose people like her. He told himself relationships were weaknesses he couldn't afford, but feelings don't disappear just because they're inconvenient. One evening, months later, they stood in that same city, under quieter lights. She told him she was afraid of falling for someone whose life was so different from hers. He stepped closer, lifting her chin gently. I stopped controlling everything the night you kissed me, he said. And I don't want control back if it means losing you. That time, when he kissed her, it wasn't a dare. It was a promise. From that one impulsive kiss grew a love neither of them planned, a connection that defied rumors, status, and fear. And every time someone asked how it all started, he would smile to himself and think of that one moment when a fearless woman kissed a billionaire, and changed everything.